All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Technical Knockout, the hardcore casual MMA podcast. I'm your host, Hussein, as always. Today we have a very special guest, amateur heavyweight Jacob Estevez. Say what's up, Jake.
What's up, guys? It's good to be here, man. Me and Hus go way back, man. That's my brother from high school. Feel me, all the way college. Now onto my stage of my career in MMA, so it's very good to be here.
Yeah, man. Jacob's been, I've known Jacob for, probably 10 years now, I guess, yeah?
We're going on. Yeah, I'm 24, and I've known you since sophomore year wrestling. Yeah, bro, probably exactly like a decade.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think about it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Jake wrestled back in high school, and he's always been super. I feel like, not to glaze too much, but I feel like you've been super talented in everything you've done. You know what I mean?
Thank you, brother.
He was rapping at the time. I was rapping at the time, but he kept rapping, and he got way better, and he's always been a fire rapper, honestly. Great wrestler, and then now going into the sport of MMA and starting off 2-0 in the regional New York scene, which is a pretty tough regional scene, you know. So good shit, bro. I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? You're doing good work.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, it is a good regional scene. The current number one ranked amateur in all of US is the number one ranked in the New York regional scene. So as far as that, that's actually somebody like I'm trying to build to get a fight with. Get a few more fights under my belt. I know we'll talk. I'm in training camp right now, training for my next fight coming up August 24th. No opponent yet, but we're looking. I'm training for that.
All right,
MMA Pro League that's going to be in Hasbrook Heights. So we're training for that fight.
All right, hell yeah, dude. That's dope. So that's going to be your first fight in Jersey then, right? Because you've been in New York for the last two fights.
Yes, sir. The last two fights I've been in Jamaica, Queens. So this would be my first fight in New Jersey, and then to give me like an official like Northeast regional ranking. So looking to do good, looking for 3-0, right? Obviously.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, bro, I was at the first fight against I forget the guy's name, but
first fight was John Harris.
John Harris, yeah, and I think you had like two opponent changes in the same week, right?
I did, yes. Prior to that, I forgot the gentleman's name, but I didn't know I was gonna fight John Harris until
like 4 or 5 days.
I'll say yeah, like definitely the week of.
Yeah,
the week of. It was looking like we fought Saturday. I'll say the prior Monday, it was like, hey, your opponent dropped out. It's not completely dead for you, but we're looking.
Yeah.
And then like that Tuesday, we said we got an opponent, 100%. It's John Harris, so respect to him. We banged out,
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy he took that fight on short notice because it was awesome to see you compete. You know, I mean, you pretty much ran through the guy. All respect in the world to John for stepping up on the short notice, but it's kind of a tough task to take on a pretty accomplished wrestler at heavyweight on short notice. So, shouts out to him. But yeah, you fucking did your thing, bro. You ran through him, got that first round submission, right? I think it was an Americana.
Yes, sir. First round submission. It's just so crazy, bro. Like how the world works. I've never hit an Americana before or after, even in training. Like when we're doing live rounds, besides drilling, and it's crazy, bro. The first class I ever took when I had come back to America, I was living overseas prior. I know we get into that. I'm getting ahead of myself, but the first class I ever did at my gym, Culture Fight Club, was a jiu-jitsu class. It was being taught my bro Mansur Kara Munch, shout out to him.
Yes.
I think 9-0 right now. He's doing his thing. He was the teacher of the class, and the first thing I happened to learn was an Americana. Since day one to that night of the fight, I had never hit it going live, and it just so happened, I knew the position, I remembered it, and I went for it, and thankfully was able to cinch it in.
Yeah, I mean that's how it happens. You know what I mean? You do it in training, and then in the fight, if it presents itself, from wrestling for years, like how good it feels to hit a technique that you learned in the gym not too long ago. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit,
100%,
let's go.
100%.
But yeah, man, tell people a little bit about your story. You know what I mean? I know you grew up in this area. You've been in athletics for most of your life, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so born and raised in Bayonne, New Jersey. I grew up playing football my whole life. So I ended up taking that. That's what I wanted to do with my career. Thankfully, I made it to professional football. That's what took me overseas. I played in Australia and I played in France. To backtrack a little bit from that, I had began wrestling in high school and wrestled a bit in college. COVID actually had stopped my wrestling career. I would have had another year, but with that, altering things, I had one semester to come back for. So it was either come back for football or come back for wrestling. So I knew my path at that time. I wanted to go to the NFL, chose football, and like I said, carried me overseas. So I've been in sports my whole life. Um, and how I got into fighting, I knew I had the wrestling background, and it was honestly from the love of wrestling. I just wanted to continue it. Just I was just like interested in, hey, if I do something for a club, if I do anything somewhere. But with me going overseas, I said, hey, let me get into a boxing gym. Let me just be fit in another way in that type of combat aspect. Started boxing in Australia, got myself into Nice boxing squad when I went to France. And bro, I'm not gonna lie, I was way out of my depth. 100% out of my depth because I didn't know that that was an official professional fighting gym. I still remember I had just landed January 1 of 2023. January 3rd, I said, I want to continue, boom, boom, boom. So, but I don't speak French at the time. So I'm looking, I say, hey, is there anywhere, I just Googled like the nearest boxing gym. Hey, is there anywhere I could fight? I just want to box. And I still remember the person saying, you want to do this for fun or for real? And something in my heart was like, for real. And they said, oh, okay, go right over there, make a left, make a right. In that building, they do it for real. I'm just thinking they're telling me, okay, they spar over there or something.
Yeah, word.
Lo and behold, bro, I make a call, hey, this and that, this and that. And I remember him saying, how much do you weigh? And, overseas is kilograms. So I was 136 kilograms. I was about 305 pounds. And he said, oh, you a big boy. All right, come on. I got some heavyweights for you. We'll spar right now. Bro, it didn't go good. Bro, but it was a super fun time. I ended up being there for about a month and a half, and I actually pulled myself out of the gym because it was just, like I said, out of my depth. From January to February, I was just showing up, getting pieced, and then going to practice. No, bro, no lie. I'm going to practice with bruises on my face, but it was a great opportunity for me to test out how much do you really want it. I'm like literally getting beat up every day because over there they just did 1 hour just to spar. Under the guys that everybody here is already a pro, everybody here already fights. We're not here to go over. Here's how to jab, here's how to cross. It's just everything situational or live. So I was way out of my depth. It was hindering me a bit with football. I still have my priorities there. But from having done that over there, shout out to Nice Boxing Squad, from having done that, I knew, okay, I'm going to revisit this. I don't know when, but I'm going to. And it just so happened I was in my free agency, brother, this past 2023 summer. I ended up having a surgery that gave me some moment to chill out and just reevaluate things. I still had offers on the table to continue my overseas career, but I figured, hey, at that time I was 23, now 24. I said, listen, if I want to push this, let's do it. I'm really feeling this passion build up. It's been an idea in my head for some time. It's been a opportunity that I've been building on actively in my side missions of boxing. So clearly I want to do it to a degree. And I told myself, man, listen, if I'm going to leave a career that I have now, then I got to make a career out of this. So, trying to go pro, trying to go to UFC. And that's it, bro. We grinding for this now.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, man, I think you got great chances. You've got a great mentality. Obviously, you're comfortable competing, with the crowd and with with a lot on the line, so to speak, from your experience in athletics throughout your life with football and wrestling and, boxing and everything. And you got a great mindset. So I think if you just, you keep training, you keep doing your thing, you keep taking these fights, keep winning these fights, the sky's the limit, bro. It's
Thank
hard.
you, buddy.
Of course, man. I mean, it's, there's very rare, it's not a lot of heavyweights that can wrestle, and especially not the way that you wrestle where, you have a little bit more of a active shooting game and, you work for legs and stuff like that where, if there are heavyweight wrestlers, they tend to do more upper body things,
Yeah,
more
body
big man
locks and
moves.
stuff like yeah, exactly. And real pummel, real cage wrestling. That was a big thing certainly for me to get adjusted to the cage wrestling, and obviously I'm still getting adjusted to it. Still
Yeah.
improving, still training day by day. That was actually the session I just came from. We just had training. We was doing some wall wrestling drills, and then including some leg takedowns, single leg high crotch, etc.
Hmm.
So just continuing my training, continue to get better. Obviously.
Hell yeah, bro. Keep up the good work,
Thank you, brother. Thank
So
you.
I want to talk a little bit about your second fight that you had. Was it about 2 weeks ago or
Yes,
10
sir.
days
That
ago?
was
So
that was June 22nd. Today's Friday. Yeah, that was about exactly like 16 days ago. Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah. This was another short notice fight. No, was the guy fell out?
No, I don't. We had made an
Maybe I'm
offer.
mistaken.
Wait, no, sir, no, you go. We had made an offer to one or two people. It wasn't Malcolm Hunter who it ended up being. We had somebody else on the table, somebody in mind. We were offered a fight from before. Because to give a little backstory, so my first fight was April 27th,
Hmm.
but the first fight I was offered was actually before that, January 12th. Coach had said, "Hey, let's continue training." I've only been training. We're in July. I've only been training MMA for about 8-9 months. So at that time, January was only 4 months or 3 months. I was training mid October, so it was really on 3 months.
Hmm.
Coach said, "You're doing your thing. I like that you're eager, but let's get more under your belt before we can start really actively fighting." Because he already knew me. Once I start fighting, we're fighting. We're in training camp. So if God bless, I don't get injured, I should be. I'm ready to rotate.
Hmm.
Every 2 months. Let's keep training camp. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. At least that's how I'm looking at it. But I certainly I believe in my coach. I'm gonna follow his lead. Um, Coach Van Hoon, Richie, doing his
Yeah.
thing. Got all the guys at Culture Fight Club, ready to go. He believes in all of us, and we believe in him. We're a squad. So I wanted to fight somebody that had offered me in January or in March, just looking, plugging things in, seeing how the rankings are going, keep the trajectory up. But we ended up with Malcolm Hunter, and also respect to him because I knew he wasn't a slouch too. Just
Yeah.
on paper,
He
him
was good.
being 6'8", 220, I just knew okay, and I felt that was actually a very good challenge that I needed to test my striking. I didn't want to be so grapple heavy. My coach had said, listen, we could grapple these guys to death and pack them up in round one. It's all good. But at some point, is going to be somebody else who's decent, right? At some point, is going to be somebody else who makes us stand on our feet. And that's not to say that none of the guys weren't decent.
Yeah.
But, every fight is tough. Some are just tougher.
Hmm.
So what are we going to do when, okay, we might have to really box for a minute. We might have to stand and bang for a minute and work to get our takedowns. So my game plan going into this fight was actually to stand up a little bit more, allow myself to get into the fire, to find out what my weaknesses are. He's a decent striker. He was throwing spinning wheel kicks and
Yeah, he was
roundhouses
trying to take your head off with those
and
kicks,
front
dude.
kicks. Yeah, he was trying to take my head off with them kicks. So the only way you can find out, if you can handle the fire, you gotta get close. So I said, all right, I'm gonna let myself get close, be cautious, and just basically work on composure and things like that that build an amateur fighter into a pro.
Hmm.
So thankfully it went our way. Like I said, some wall wrestling in there, some takedowns. That promotion, they have a rule that if you have less than 3 fights, MMA fights, you can't ground and pound to the face.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I was just
That's
gonna
why you were
say,
going to the body so much.
if anybody might have had a question of like, hey, you're in full mount, hit him.
Yeah.
That's why it was kind of awkward actually. It was working against me. Full mount, great position, but since
Hard to
I
hit
could
the
only
body
hit
from
to the
there.
body, he was able to kind of just like hug himself.
Yeah.
So it was preventing me from attempting really any arm triangles or submissions of that nature.
That changes a
And
lot, dude. Because I mean, yeah, it was a couple times where I was like, he could punch his head through the canvas right here.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah. I had an opportunity,
I
but
feel like the
obviously,
fight would have been a lot shorter without that rule.
yes, I agree. Which is why my coach was saying, hey, in that real world scenario, this will be over. When we want it to be over.
Yeah. It's good to get
But
that experience though.
yeah, get that experience. Find out what your gas take is like. We could spar all day. We could go 3 minute rounds, 5 minute rounds for 2 hours, and of course we're gassed. But we have to get that time under our belt. It like
Yeah.
you could be a monster on paper and you got all round one finishes. What that tells somebody else is, oh my goodness, he's a monster. He packs everybody up in round one. What that also says is he's never been to round three. He's never
Yeah,
been in
facts.
those deep waters. So we got to see, So I was actually glad, I got the TKO in 2 minutes 59 seconds, like
Yeah,
at
like
the
right at
buzzer,
the end of the third round. Yeah.
right at the buzzer. So I'm glad to say, oh okay, I've been through, essentially the entirety of a fight.
Yeah.
It really gave me a good layout of, okay, see where my shape is at, see
It's
where my
good
gas tank
experience.
is at, what I need to do, what I need to maybe not do as well, work on my habits and such, and study film, and on to the next. So right now I just began my official training camp actually today. We're like 7.5 weeks out from August 24th. Like I said, Hasbrook Heights at the Hilton. So training for that, looking for an opponent, and let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, let me know. I'll definitely come through. It's
100%.
not too far from where I'm at, so
No, 100%. I'm much happier. It's right there. Hasbrook Heights is, right here within 20-30 minutes.
yeah,
Prior
facts.
to that, Jamaica Queens, I was selling tickets like, hey, I got tickets. Oh, say no more. I'm gonna come through. Where it's at? Jamaica. Hey,
Yeah, no, I get.
hey, you ain't got none in Jersey?
Yeah, no,
Hey, bro,
I
it's
pulled
my.
up to the first one,
You
but
did. No, bless
yeah,
up, bless up. That's what I'm telling
nah,
people, man. We
it was
go,
dope.
bro. We go
Honestly, it was a
way
great
better.
show. Like they had like Muay Thai and boxing and
Yeah,
MMA. It
that
was
that
fucking
promotion
cool.
is good, man. They do their thing. Extreme Cage Fighting, ECF,
Yeah,
NYC out there. They do their thing. They
yeah,
put on a show. It was good. It was a lot more for my first fight going into it. I got so many questions about myself, right? What I'm gonna do once that cage. How am I gonna feel? But
hmm
on the other side of that, it was kind of about, okay, how does this promotion, not even this promotion, just how does fighting work? How many people are going to be there? Okay, how big is the cage? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Is it just one spotlight? Is it multiple? Am I going to be able to see the cameras? Like different things like that. That's like, those are all questions in the back of my mind. But once I get out there, I wasn't thinking nothing, brother. I'm not gonna lie. My heart was beating when my entrance was going. I'm walking out, and as soon as I put my first foot on the step, it was just like, okay, time
word,
to lock in.
facts. And I mean, you did lock in. You ran through, bro.
Yeah.
And Keith Peterson as your ref for the first fight is pretty fucking sick, right there.
Bro, I'm saying, I stepped in. I said, I know this guy from somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, isn't this a UFC ref? What's
Yeah.
going on? This is tough.
And that was the
Yeah,
only fight that he reffed that night too. So I was like, "That's fucking
I
sick,
think
dude."
so.
Like,
I
yeah,
said, bro, this is tough. I got a picture with him and all of that. It was cool. I didn't. I had no clue you could get. And then it just hit me like, oh yeah, referees, they keep refereeing, and amateur is
yeah,
probably a great place to test yourself, as a referee in your own game. And no, everybody was great. ECF, shout out to them. I appreciate them for giving me my first two fights. And if we end up getting a fight there later on, whatever the case is, but right now we're gonna go for MMA Pro League. I'm still amateur, but the
yeah.
promotion is MMA Pro League. And actually, excuse me, August 24th, the way that entire card is being set up is other fighters versus my gym. The
Oh,
whole
word. The
the whole
Culture
card,
Gym.
yeah, brother. The whole card is Culture Fight Club versus the world. So it's from other gyms. I'm the heavyweight representing us. We've got, I'm gonna say, just about every division.
I have to go then. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Because I
bro.
mean,
Just
every fighter
about.
I've seen out of Culture is doing great things. So,
Yeah, brother. We went 5-0 on that last
yeah,
card, on June 22nd, the fight I was on. 5-0.
yeah, that's
Me,
fucking sick.
Yago Silva at 205. What's my brother? Austin at, I believe he was 155. Max at 145. Oh man, and Fernando Collado at, I believe, 170. So I might be messing up the divisions, but those are all the guys plus me. So we did our thing there, and I genuinely think it was from that coach or whoever got the idea and said we should do a whole Culture card.
Word.
So August 24th is gonna be Culture versus the world.
That's fire. Hell yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
I hope they're taking bets on it because I'll take the culture team over
Yes, sir. Yes,
anybody
sir.
right now.
Let's go.
No, but yeah, man. That second fight, you brought up the composure. I think that's a great way to describe it because I saw you in certain spots where it looked like he was starting to kind of test your patience a little bit and like landing like I wouldn't call them hard shots, but definitely like annoying ones. Like throwing up the head kick and like hitting you with the right hand and stuff. And there was a moment, I think it was in the second or third round, where I saw you like I saw the look on your face where you were like, I want to fuck this guy up right now. And like instead of like going wild and like getting countered, you went for a takedown in that moment, and I was like, that's a great sign. You know what I mean? And as you keep developing as a fighter, I'm really excited to see where you go because I think you've got, like I said, you've got a great mindset, and you seem to have a good fight IQ for only having 2 amateur fights. You know what I mean? So.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. To comment on that, my bro at the gym, Chris Roman, he's one of the coaches there. He's like our boxing coach over there. He had told me after the first fight, him, Marcel, another fighter, another trainer at the gym, hey, yo, good composure. Wow, your composure. I thought they meant like, oh, you submit him and then you didn't like start emoting on him. Like, way to keep your composure and just be like, yeah, job done. Way to not start like dancing. I thought that's what they meant. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not like, I'm not really into the show, but I'm not trying to make nobody feel bad. You feel me? We're here to do the job. One day, if I lose, you know what I mean? If somebody put me down, bro, don't dance on me.
Yeah, word. Yeah.
You feel me? Like we're fighting. I got you, but chill. Don't dance on me,
golden rule. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. If you dance, you knock me out. Like, bro, you got that. But I thought that's what they meant by composure. Like I said, I'm still an amateur. I'm still only at that time doing it like 7 months. After the second one, I said, oh, yeah, you're saying, like you said, patience, like way to stay calm. And like my boy Malcolm Hunter, he was throwing the head kicks, he was throwing front kicks. Yeah, that, honestly, him being dangerous in that regard, my mind went to, okay, wait a minute, let's just wait a second. As opposed to, oh, rush him, because I've seen enough fights. I've had enough spars. Thankfully, I've got great coaches. I've got great training partners. Yago Silva is actually somebody who taught me that. Hey, don't rush in. Don't jump in. I was 100% like that when we first started, where I was just.
I think a lot of people are, yeah.
Yeah, you're very jumpy. You're very like you're trying to be a feint master. Back. You're just like Yeah. So 100%. He's got a beautiful 1-2. He would jab, and I would maybe rush in. Boom, boom, throw. Connect, and he took about a month, you know what I mean, took a few hard punches to realize it, let it cinch in, but he's somebody that really helped me with that. Hey bro, relax, because if you rush in too fast, somebody else is going to be quicker, or they're going to be quicker if they're anticipating it, if they're setting you up. So that idea of fight IQ, I've been really working on that, understanding seeing things that are there, you know what I mean? And that to the casual eye is not there, but while you're in the cage, I'm setting this up, whether it be for the next minute, the next round, I'm setting things up, working on that. And I can't stress enough that my coaches, I'm only as decent as I am, and I'm only 2-0, and all that credit goes to my coaches and my training partners 100%. And that doesn't have nothing to do with trying to be a humble master. That's pure honesty. Those guys at Culture Fight Club helped me out. Those guys have accepted me, and it's all love. Coach Richie, he is all love from me to him.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can tell it's a solid team because, again, like the composure that you showed and composure I've seen other fighters like Munch that you mentioned, Marcel. I've seen a couple of his amateur fights. I've known Marcel for years as well. He's a great guy. But yeah, like I see that kind of common thread. It seems to be a smart gym, which as a fight fan, as a, an analyst, so to speak, somebody that's been running this podcast for like 2 years now, I love seeing, coaches and teams that don't rely on their, athletes' physical gifts, but combine their athletes, don't rely on it necessarily, but combine it with a smart game plan to maximize their like chances of success, so to speak. So like, a great example would be like AKA, the American Kickboxing Academy out in San Jose.
Mhm.
They brought in, they had guys like Khabib and Islam and, DC and Cain Velasquez. They weren't trying to make these guys knockout punchers. You know what I mean? They weren't
Right.
trying to have them take people's heads off. They also weren't, just having them only wrestle and not be able to, have a complete game. You
Right.
see those fighters, DC, Kane, Khabib, Islam, the list goes on and on. All these great AKA fighters or fighters that have been at AKA. Um, One of their hallmarks is that they're very well rounded and they know when to take the fight to the other phase if it doesn't work there. You know what I mean? Khabib became a great striker under the AKA tutelage, and he didn't use his striking. He didn't need to, right? Like, he used it to set up his grappling. We could talk about it for days and days and days, but I see that kind of mentality coming out of the culture team, and I think it works in spades, especially at the highest level. So I'm excited to see where you guys go, and obviously you, because I've known you for so long, to see where you go. But I think you're in good hands, and I'm happy for you, brother.
100%. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Right now, like I said, the culture squad, where we going? We going to the Hilton Hasbrook Heights, August
Yeah, word. I'm
24th.
I'm in there.
Feel me? Pull up, holla at us. Let's go.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely down. So yeah, I mean, besides that, leading up to that second fight, after the fight, I saw you kind of get in Homeboy's face a little bit, or like it looked like you guys had like a little bit of a tiff, but then you squashed it
Yeah.
almost immediately.
Yeah.
What happened there? Like, did he say something, or was it he did like a little motion in the middle of the fight, and I thought maybe that's what it was that kind of threw it off,
Hey,
because it seemed like respect before and after that moment.
yeah, yeah. It was respect. And so basically, the backstory. We were actually talking prior to the fight, right?
Yeah.
The way that the venue was set up is open. It wasn't like blue.
Oh, you mean like
Uh,
on the day of the fight?
yes, sir. Yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
the like hours before the fight.
Okay,
The
cool.
fighters come to the venue and the venue is open.
Yeah.
Your opponent could be sitting right next to you, until they separate. Okay, blue corner, red corner.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, the venue's open. Like I could just walk over to the other corner, but you don't. You keep it respectful. They got security and everything, so it's not like it's loose. But prior to that, they're setting things up. We're doing this. We're just looking at the doctor. People are checking us. Anyways, I had seen him out the corner of my eye. He's the only person in the building, six
Six
foot
eight.
eight.
Yeah.
So I said, I think I'm fighting that guy.
Yeah.
So no, honestly, we had chopped it up.
Yeah.
That was my first time. Right. So my first fight, I saw the gentleman I was fighting. Said, hey, what's up? Said, I forgot what he said. Hey, let's have a good performance. And that was it. I saw him a few times, but we didn't interact. It was the complete opposite for this one. Saw him, said, hey, what's up? Immediately we start chopping it up. Oh, where you from? This and that. Boom, 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 boom. Bro, crazy again. Crazy how the world works. He was living in Texas, or he is living in Texas, but he flew out for the fight, and he goes, yeah, XYZ, XYZ. When I flew out for my last fight, that was also in Queens, I was staying in this place in Jersey. I said, oh yeah, where? He says, oh, I was living in Bayonne.
Oh,
I
word.
said, I said, oh yeah, I
That's
know that
crazy.
place.
Yeah.
He was living in. I said it's called Bayonne, and bro, he showed me on the Google map. Bro, he was living like 5 blocks away from my crib,
That's crazy.
in his Airbnb. I said that's crazy. So yeah, but exactly like
Small
how you
world.
and I just laugh at it. Me and I laugh. Oh yeah, bro. I know that, bro. I'm from. So we just chopping it up. Maybe like honestly, like a genuine 20 minutes. Even to the point where some of the guys on my squad and my coach is like, oh you know you're gonna fight this guy, right? We're trying to
Yeah,
be all
word.
buddy buddy.
Uh,
And I was just telling him like, yo, this is only my second fight. Is this a not normal thing to be like, what's up? But I even know that from wrestling, right? And
mhm.
maybe you see your guy that you're gonna go at whatever in the tournament. You see how things line up. Say, hey, what's up? But we keep it. You know what I mean? You put your headphones in. I put mine back in, and whatever. It just was the nature. I was letting us be friendly. Forgive me, I'm rambling. Anyways, it was great until we were switching corners. I was in his, he was in mine by accident. And he had just said something to me that sat with me the wrong way. He said, all right, bro, let's have a good fight. I'm not going to kill you. And I just took that as like a slight, like kind of condescending.
Like he could
So,
if he tried. Like,
right. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Like, we're
I
about to
said,
find out, motherfucker.
yeah, I said, like, excuse me. And it's all love. It's not to like necessarily gossip, but that is what led to the tiff in the ring. He said, I'm not going to kill you. I said, what you mean? He thought I was like joking,
That's
or he
motivation.
thought I thought he was joking, and I didn't think he was joking at all. So I just felt he was trying to be a jerk, and it was like,
Yeah.
okay, say no more. But that's actually genuinely what I needed, and now I'm not doing the whole buddy buddy
Yeah, don't
thing.
talk to them before the
I
fight.
ain't with
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that because it creates like a gray area. Because now it's
Yeah, true.
interpretation. What do you mean? Are you being slick? Are you fake being friendly? So it's all good. I respect all my opponents, and that's why actually after all of that, I felt a little bad because I did do the little emote. I did like not want to shake his hand, but it was the referee who checked us in, who like checked the gloves, checked the mouthpiece, and
Yeah.
walked us into the ring, who came up to me after and was like, "Hey, listen, you had a great performance. You won. Don't worry about trying to be a tough guy or if he's trying to be a tough guy." Because I was explaining to Hunter, yo, you said XYZ. Now you want to shake hands. You did little fake emote 1-2 in the
Yeah, in
ring.
the middle of the fight.
When I
Yeah.
was on him on the wall, I didn't see that he was like waving it off and things like that. He like poked his chest out or something. That's the only thing I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah, I don't
But
remember.
it's when through one ear out the other, I was just like whatever. I didn't see all that until after when I saw the film. Like, oh, this guy trying to be funny, but none of that matters. You know what I mean? I'm staying I'm
Yeah, I
staying
feel you.
focused. I'm not worried about all of that. But that's why I felt bad after because that's not really my character. I'm not trying to beat
Yeah,
nobody
definitely.
while they're down. I'm not with all that
That's why I
unless
knew. I was like, there had to have been like the
I
dude
felt
had
the
to
way.
have
Yeah,
said
yeah,
something or like
one
because
hundred percent.
obviously I can't hear. I was watching it on like the pay per view thing.
Yes, sir.
I obviously can't hear what he's saying to you during the fight, so I didn't know if he was like talking shit in the middle of the fight or something. Because I was like, there's no way Jake would just like flex on him. You know what I mean? Like I've
Yeah,
known you for
yeah.
a
I'm not.
long
I'm not.
time.
I'm not that
I've
type of
seen you
person.
whoop fucking a lot of wrestlers and not be like a sour winner. You know what I mean?
No,
So I
absolutely,
was like,
brother.
that's
You
not his
could go
character.
how when you was there for the first fight. That's how it is. We
Yeah,
won. Cool.
exactly.
We
Yeah, it
walk
was all
off.
respect. Yeah.
I might be feeling myself.
Well, that's a different story.
I
You know
might
what I
look
mean? Of
into the
course, you earned
camera
that
like,
W. You
"Hey,
know
get
what I
your
mean?
man."
Yeah,
But
yeah,
but it's respect. I'm feeling
yeah.
myself, and we good. I'm not. So when I pointed at him and I didn't want to shake his hand, it was only from that prospect of, hey, brother, you disrespected me. I don't care if you respect me or not, but you're not gonna disrespect me. I had felt
Mm-hmm.
you got a little
Word.
in your bag earlier. That's cool. I got in my bag for the past 9 minutes of the fight,
Yeah,
and it just went how it went. But he told me, listen, yo,
yeah,
brother, you took that the wrong way. He
yeah.
explained how he
Some
felt. I explained
miscommunication.
how I felt. We had just banged out. It really was no more animosity.
Yeah,
100% all how I was reacting. I just wanted to let it out during the fight and still in a composed manner.
yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
was actually telling myself, okay, Jake, you've been disrespected. Don't go in there and try to overhand, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
compose yourself. So I was
Yeah.
telling myself that we actually, bro, crazy how the world works. Uh, Maybe an hour after the fight, everybody's because we were the co-main event, so everybody's leaving out, going whichever way they're going. Bro, I just go to a random McDonald's just to get something to eat before I dip out, and he's
Yeah.
at the McDonald's.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And so we talk about it again after, and he explained, "Listen, I didn't mean that. I just meant XYZ." And I said, "All right, well, you said it a certain type of way." He added some lingo. He's not from up here, but I
True.
remember him saying,
True.
"Yo, my heart, I'm not gonna kill you." It's my heart is not in your lingo. What do you? So I thought he was like making fun of me. You know what I mean? To add all
Mm-hmm.
of that. So, but listen, we squared it away, and he's a good guy, and I feel I'm a good guy, and we're cool.
Yeah.
It's all
Word.
love. After that, yeah, 100% it was all love when we explained it. What I really appreciated was that he had come up to me multiple times and said, "Yo, we're good. I didn't mean to disrespect,"
Word.
and I
Yeah.
and I was like, "Okay, yo, I appreciate that. We're good. I didn't mean to clown on you after or whatever." So it's all love. So between me and him, and
Word.
and me and any of my opponents, it's all love. Even if somebody do damage to me and they emote, listen, you gotta get your 1-2 off. I understand. It's the you being a showman. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm just somebody that, as long as we, like I said, you don't gotta respect me. But if you disrespect me, if you cross the line, then it's gonna be no boundaries. Don't
Yeah.
control
Facts.
don't
Yeah.
control how I react. So I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. Even if it's gonna be my boy was laughing because he's like, bro, I already know once you start having press conferences, like they're not gonna want to talk to you, like, Because once you let it off, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I'm cool with everything, but as soon as we start disrespecting, okay, then we start
yeah, it's a
disrespecting. You
different
know what I
story.
mean?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it's all love. It's all love.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, because I just wanted to clear that up because if anybody saw the fight, they might be thinking, like, oh, he's cocky or something. But it
No,
was
hundred
like, I could
percent.
tell that wasn't the, you know what I mean? Obviously.
No, 100%. Yeah, thank you for asking me that. To anybody who saw the fight,
Yeah.
just go see my first one. That's really how I behave. That's how I
Yeah, no.
am.
I mean, I
And
wouldn't say it was even that bad. It was just like a
nah, it was
2 second
just
thing, you know what
whatever,
I
like a
mean?
little point. I don't want to, and it was just I don't want to shake your hand.
But
I
you earned
actually
that
did.
shit, dog. You got that dub, you know?
Thank you, brother. I didn't want to shake his hand, and I was walking away. I only turned back and said like, "So what's up?" Because he turned to me. So I'm thinking,
Mm.
"Oh, okay. It's, I'm gonna defend myself. It's gonna be whatever." But I guess I'm gonna get banned from ECF. Like,
Nah, what? They banned you for that?
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no.
I
I'm
was about to
in my
say.
head when I turned away and he turned. I said, "Okay, he's gonna swing on me." That's
Oh,
what I
shit.
thought.
Yeah.
I said, "Yo, he's." I said, "All
We
right,
had
bet."
9 minutes to do that,
I said, "All right,
yeah.
bet." He's gonna swing. I'm gonna swing. I don't know who's gonna get hit.
uh,
All I know is the ref might catch a bow
word.
because the ref was in between. I'm like, the ref might
What
want to
was
move
that?
out, but
That ref,
but that
man. I don't want to bring it up. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
that stand up he gave him. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I
he
mean?
said it was because my glove had got
He
caught
got
in
caught in
his
the shorts,
shorts
but you already
and
had
it
the
was
takedown.
yeah, I
Like
already had
he
it. I
could have
didn't
been
think
naked. It didn't matter at that point. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah
homeboy was already his feet
from
were above his
watching
head.
from watching the film after, I was like, you could have let it go, but I appreciate
I get it.
that he
The
made a
pressure.
decision and it just was whatever.
Hmm.
He wasn't like, wait, 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 and then kind of
Yeah, half
wasn't
in, half
really,
out. He was
like, and then I'm like, what do you mean, wait?
direct.
And then he catches me, He
Yeah,
just, he separated. So it was okay. I wasn't mad at it. And
yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't have been mad
I
at
mean, you
nothing
got it again
regardless.
anyway, so it
Yeah,
doesn't make
even
any
when I took
difference.
him down, the first takedown I got, I just let him get back up because I knew, okay, I can, going back to my game plan. All right, just checking. Can I take him down? Yeah, no, whenever I want is gonna go there.
Word.
But let's work our game plan. Let's lock in.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you're gonna have that option with a lot of these guys that you're fighting right now.
Mm.
It's just like I said, there's just not a ton of heavyweight grapplers. Especially not either from not to be too like biased, but New Jersey wrestling is pretty strong.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
compared to like even New York or some of the other neighboring states. So if you are keep fighting these dudes, you're probably going to have that wrestling advantage. So it's good to see you kind of choose to round out the game, so to speak, in a safe
Absolutely.
manner. And against somebody
Absolutely.
that guy's like size and stature, it's a perfect test.
Yeah,
So
it's a great
good
test.
shit.
So that I
You passed
wasn't I
with flying
wasn't mad at
colors.
it at all. It was a great
Yeah.
test, and we'll see whoever the next test is. I don't know who the current opponent would be for my training camp, but we're looking, and I trust in my coach's vision and whatever
Yeah, well,
matchmaker's vision to let's get a good fight. I don't need to be the favorite. I don't need to be the underdog, but
you'll get it done, bro.
whatever it's gonna be, let's make it a good fight. I know actually a goal of mine. I would want to fight. Well, I would want to fight as many times as I can that makes sense at amateur.
Yeah.
Let's get good proper fights. Let's see what's going on. I'm sure I'll face some guys who, when I face them in the amateurs, I'll also see them in the pros or some guys that are making noise. Like I said, some of the guys in the rankings, I got my eye on them the same way that they should have their eye on me. If they don't, cool.
Yeah,
But
word.
I'm watching, so
Hell yeah.
I see what's going on.
Well, I'm gonna be watching your fights, bro. I'm excited.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
So I mean, I'm down to chat a little bit about some upcoming fights if you are.
Yeah, no doubt.
We got a pretty solid UFC card this upcoming weekend, in Denver with Namajunas and Cortez at the billing. We could talk about that. We could talk about like generally what's been going on, or what's coming up. UFC 304. These upcoming title fights. It's up to you, brother. What are you thinking?
Holla at me about UFC 304. I was just overlooking this UFC Fight Night card, and bro, it's like I said, the same thing where in football, I did my sport, but watching the sport, honestly, I'm super casual. Like,
Yeah.
I just felt like that was too much of an overload for me. When I did football, I wanted to go home and I wanted to make music. I didn't want to do football, then go home and play Madden, then
Yeah, I feel you.
turn
Yeah,
on the
study
game and it's
tapes and
just
shit.
study football. Like,
Yeah.
I got it how I could get it. And of course my focus is always turned on. But as far as watching, I do watch to learn, but maybe a whole fight night or a whole UFC card. Sometimes I'm a bit on the casual side, I'm not gonna lie.
That's all right,
But
man.
as I've gotten into it, I do know more about like I've been keeping my eye. You know who I like to watch, brother?
What was that?
Is the smaller guys fight.
Yeah.
I love watching the flyweights. I love watching them move. Like
Bro,
there
did you see Pantoja versus Usyk, the last
yes,
title? That shit was
I did.
crazy,
Yes, I
bro.
did. That's a great fight.
Who'd you think
I
won?
I think Pantoja won. I know a lot of people think that the I wouldn't say robbery, but the narrative that I've heard is nah, Urseg like coulda. I think in a situation like that is like if it's a tight fight, if there has to be some bias, I'm probably gonna be biased towards the champ.
I
Like if
get it.
you got to beat the champ to be the champ.
They were in
So
Brazil too, so it's like
yeah, that's gonna be the thing. So now you want
you
to
gotta really take it from him.
yeah, you want to take out any bias though. That doesn't mean hey, you're gonna fight him in his home territory, and it's just if you don't knock him out, you're 100% losing.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're having proper judging, but I do think in a situation like that, it's very easy subconsciously to be like, bro, he's the champ, home state.
yeah,
If it's 3-2, I'm giving it 3-2 to him.
yeah.
You know,
Word. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was a robbery by any means, but
you,
you're right. You have to take into account there's some kind of biases that go into these, whether it's conscious or unconscious.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I think it was a really close fight that could have went either way. So I'm
yeah.
not mad that Pantoja won. I actually had money on Pantoja winning, so I'm happy that he
Oh,
won.
you're not mad,
But
yeah.
yeah, but after the fight, like I rewatched it recently because it was a great fight, like we just said, and I thought Usyk won. I was watching it like without the
Mhm.
context of the event and like
Right, just
without the drinks in my system and shit. Like,
just
I
watch
was
it, yeah,
yeah, I was like, damn, I kind of feel like Usyk won. Yeah, either way, man, I'm fucking excited for what he's got going on now.
for sure.
He's definitely on
He's
the radar.
he's fighting Kai Car France, no? On
Yeah,
that Drickus card, that's gonna be a good
yeah,
fight.
that's gonna be a good ass fight, bro. I'm
That's gonna be a
excited
good
for
fight.
that. I really like Usyk's chances in that fight.
Yeah, yeah,
I
I'm not
think
mad at that at all.
I think he's got a bit better grappling than Kai Car France, and even
Yeah,
though Kai Car France
bro.
just shut down like a pretty solid grappler in Amir Albazi, I think
Yeah,
Usyk can put those pieces together better, so to speak, than Albazi can,
yeah.
and be able to kind of test him everywhere. So I'm really excited for that matchup.
Fair,
Um,
fair.
but yeah, man, Pantoja's a beast right now at flyweight, and I really feel like it's his belt. It's gonna be his belt for a while. He kind of has that style. We've talked about it on the podcast before, me and Jordan, that Pantoja's style is kind of negating a lot of what makes other flyweights so like special, which is like
Mhm.
their like scrambliness or their scrappiness. It's hard to use that kind of wild style, so to speak, against somebody like Pantoja, who's very
Like,
rock golem. Like, you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah. Like how I describe it is just like,
Yeah, he's so focused and he's so like strong. He's not only durable as fuck, like his chin is insane. I've seen him take huge punches and just
take
like
some, yeah,
be completely okay. He also has an incredible jiu-jitsu game that is very like slow and methodical. So he'll slow down the pace on some of these crazy scramblers and
yeah,
almost always end up on top. And I think that's
yeah,
that's kind of where Usyk lost the fight. Is he was doing well on the feet. It was when he
yeah.
started going to the grappling and getting
You get, yeah,
reversed and
outclassed
shit.
just a bit. Yeah, Pantoja has a great understanding of positioning.
Yeah,
Like that.
exactly.
That's something, bro. Just today, 2 hours ago, I'm training with wow, who was I training with my boy Gabe, and he's got a fight actually coming up August 2nd. He's fighting in that same venue, Jamaica Queens, but he's
Oh,
fighting for Flex Fight Series,
mm-hmm.
and so I'm outweighing him by whatever 70 pounds, 80 pounds. I've got on him. He's fighting at I think 170, but we're going live. We're scrambling, and my coach is telling me, hey, positioning, right? Yeah, he's 170 and I could pick him up and do whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
train as if this is who you're fighting.
Yeah.
So when you get to the ground, don't just throw him because you could throw him, right? You're making him work, right? This training favors him more, for him getting that good resistance of me being on him, and if he can push a pace on me and we can push a pace, it's helping me with my conditioning. But he's always emphasizing position over scramble over
Yep.
putting on a show over anything,
Position
because
over submission.
you do one thing wrong and now you're on bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the joke is like, unless you're Munch none of us are ready to fight from bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. He
unless
does
you're
have a sick
Mantrikara,
ground. Yeah,
unless you're a third degree black belt,
yeah.
this whole idea of like, oh, I'll just go to, I'll have him in my full guard is like you don't. That's
It's
not what
not
we're
conducive
doing.
to winning a fight.
It's
Yeah,
not conducive. We're losing the fight that way. It's like
yeah.
no matter how sick you think your elbows from bottom are, or like you need to get out of there. So
Yeah.
positioning, always, always, always. So
Yeah, facts. And that's a big tool for Pantoja. And it's a big tool for a lot of the
yeah,
high level fighters is kind of like those in between moments, you know. I
yeah,
was just watching I was rewatching rather Poirier versus Makachev last night. Did you see
yeah.
that fight?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. That's another good fight. Another
It
great
was a
fight. I'll be honest.
crazy fight.
I didn't have it going that far,
Yeah, me
and I
neither.
and I didn't have it. How did I have it? I had Islam by submission in the second round. That was my like.
That was
That
literally
was
my
my
pick. Yeah.
comfortable. Honestly, that was my comfortable. Okay, he's gonna fill him out round one.
Round two,
Poirier's
get
gonna get his
after it.
boxing off. Cool. Whatever Islam is gonna see, he's gonna see. And in round two, he's gonna get on it. I figured he'd take him down, work him a few times in the first, and then that would have been my like safe pick. My safe pick was submission round two. But
Yeah,
for them to bang out and go all the way to round five, I honestly think that was the best thing for both of them
agreed.
at the point in their career. Islam, congratulations. Now you're like
Legendary
you're
status.
yeah, your legendary status, the way we view you. You've been in two 5 round bangers where one goes to decision with Alexander, one
Hmm.
goes to sub with you and Poirier. You're doing your thing. You're
Yeah,
the man. You're on top of the world. Poirier, you just gave everybody had you by I had you by submission in round two. So
yeah.
for you to go to round five, and I actually believe in when it went into five, I had it 3-1 at the time. I think Poirier got 1 round.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching it again yesterday, like I said, and I thought that it could have been 3-1 Makachev or 2-2 going into the fifth.
Fair,
Watching it
fair.
live, I was like, this could go either way. It depends on what the judges are watching, but definitely it's either
Yeah.
Makachev's up or it's a draw. I don't think there was an argument to me that Poirier was winning,
Nah, I think that's more the
but he gave a
bias.
great
Like
account.
people like Poirier, they want him
Oh
to
yeah,
win.
dude, I was
So
there live. The crowd was so biased; it was crazy.
yeah,
Like
for Poirier.
for Poirier, for Strickland, for anybody who was
Yeah.
American, really. Like it was
Yeah, yeah,
wild.
yeah. We're in Newark, New Jersey, so anybody who's like
Yeah,
around the way, they're gonna go crazy for it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was watching it live at the crib. My boy's watching it with me, and he's like, "Yo, I think Poirier's win." I said, "What?" I said,
Yeah,
I said, "Bro, it's a good fight."
yeah, he had a great account for himself for sure, but
Right, he's banging out, and watching it live, like just after each round, I'm like, Makhachev, you know what I mean? You're
yeah,
thinking. I said, I'll be honest. I gave him one. I believe it was round two,
yeah, two or
but
three, I think. I
I
don't
said I
remember.
gave him. I said I gave him one off the top of my head. I gave him 3-1, but no, brother, he's not winning.
Yeah,
He's not winning. But hey, that's a great fight. I think that's exactly what both of them needed
yeah,
to top off the card. I think that's what the card needed in general. People were feeling kind of
yeah,
snoozy going into that
yeah.
one. I'll be honest, I did doze off once or twice. I was just tired. You know what I mean? I
I
had
mean
work.
that
I had work
Strickland
the next
Costa
day.
fight. I do not blame you. That fight was a
People
nightmare.
were feeling like, okay, what are we doing here? But
But
that's a good card.
yeah, man. The I brought it up also because we're talking about being good in between the positions, and
Mm,
that fight was like such a. I feel like that's the separator between really high level MMA and really good fighters. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like when you get to that highest level, people like Volkanovski, people like Holloway, Makachev, Poirier, these guys that are great everywhere. They're really good at finding moments to land strikes or positions in between exchanges, in between scrambles. Like, for example,
100%.
like Makachev would throw a left hand and grab the collar tie and throw a knee to the body. You know what I mean? This is just a perfect example of blending things together. Poirier, whenever he was getting up from one of the takedowns, I think in the third or the fourth round, he like was able to kind of like shove off his hips, and while
Mm,
Makachev was getting back up to his feet in that like 1.25 seconds or whatever, he like runs forward and hits him with an elbow, and he cut him pretty
yeah,
good. Like, and it
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, damn, like this is exactly what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, you got to
Right.
get it in blood the whole time. Like,
Yeah, make it ugly, and that's a great example of that IQ,
hmm
right? Like just understanding it's almost to the point. Well, it is. I'm starting to experience it a little bit as I get more experience. Is that it's then it comes natural, right? When you
Yeah.
think about it, and you don't got all that time in the world. But when we just make our move, and within this millisecond, I'm gonna just do this because the feel of it. That's when you feel yourself elevating. Like you commented on. Who does a great job of positioning? That I think just because of the style of the way he does it, we kind of maybe think he's not that good, or some people think that. But Sean Strickland, bro,
Yeah.
he's great at that. And
He's a
they were
natural
training,
fighter.
bro. They were training with us at Culture Fight Club, bro.
Yeah,
For
yeah, I saw that in the
before the fight,
embedded.
yeah, on
Yeah.
the UFC embedded, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Them, Johnny Eblin, he's the Bellator 185 champ.
Yeah, he's good.
I was trained, and bro, like I said, so I'm a casual, so I knew Johnny and Chris Curtis was there in the gym.
Oh,
I
I
knew
love
them
Chris
two.
Curtis.
He's a dog. He's a nice guy too. Very nice guy. Super Aki, bro. Way bigger in person.
Yeah.
But bro, I'm getting rounds. I'm getting rounds. Boom, boom, boom. We're sparring. Cool. Not with Chris Curtis. I didn't get a round with him, but I got one with Johnny, and I got one
Oh,
with
that's fire, dude.
yeah, I got one with and bro, that guy's no joke too.
With
No
who?
joke.
Oh,
Johnny
Evelyn?
Johnny Eblin is not a joke.
Yeah,
Not a
no,
joke.
dude, he's
Not
the
a,
champ over there.
bro. Not a joke. But I remember asking my coach, "Hey, coach, is it disrespectful if I ask him for a round?" You know what I mean? Because I'm coming from that perspective of, hey, I'm not trying to challenge you or nothing, but I
I
want to
just want to
work to see.
see.
I want to
Yeah.
work to see where I'm at,
Yeah.
all love. But we were going like live rounds. I know I got weight on him. I don't want him to think I'm trying to knock him out and be a superstar.
Yeah, word.
He said, I promise you he's not going to feel that way. Like, I promise you he's got you. You're good. I
Hmm.
said, I bet. So we do a round. Yeah, no, that guy's great. But the point I'm making is so I sparred with this one gentleman. I don't know him, but I just say, hey, what's up, brother? Boom, boom, boom. I'm watching UFC 303. Forgive me,
302.
302. The next day or 2 days later, I said, wait a minute. I was sparring one of Sean Strickland's cornermen.
Oh,
And
word.
yeah, I said, bro, and bro, that whole team gets right. Coach Eric from
Eric
Couture.
Nixick, yeah. He's a
Yeah,
great
bro,
coach. Yeah, he's another guy that's great in the in-betweens.
bro,
That whole camp.
great. That IQ style, in my opinion, is just gonna be like the best. Where it's not any point of spamming wrestling or spamming striking, right? Of course, you got your guys with specialties in that area,
Yes, yeah.
but me personally, I really enjoy the concept of being well rounded. And Coach Eric
Mixing the
and
martial arts, yeah.
yeah, exactly, mixed martial arts. Why would you not? Mix. So Coach Eric and Coach Richie, those two guys I'm rocking with. You know what I mean? If I end up going out to Nevada, I'm training with Coach Eric. If while I'm here, I'm training with Coach Richie, and wherever they recommend me to, I'm following their lead. But yeah, I
Word.
just wanted to say that to say no, Sean Strickland and that team over there, they know what they're doing, and he has a great job. He does a great job of positioning and walking you down, and I really have an affinity for his style. I like that. You know what I mean? I figure I'm more of a pressure fighter, not in the like herky jerky sense, like I'm just going crazy, but that like I'm pushing forward type.
Hmm.
So
Putting the pace on him.
yeah, putting the pace on him. And if I need to work back because it's in whatever favor for me, I'll do that. But my natural is let's bang out. So
Yeah, facts. So I know what you mean by his like sense of positioning. You can get the tell from Strickland. I mean, of course he's talked about it in interviews and stuff, but you can see from watching his fights, if you know what you're watching, that this
Mhm.
guy is super comfortable in any fight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's
Yeah,
done like 10 million rounds. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's
Just
good. Like
sparring like a spar head. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
he's got his style and like
It works
only
well.
he can, only he can do it like that. And yeah, exactly like you said,
It's
he's
effective.
comfortable. I like that he's comfortable, kind of in that middle like void range, like anybody could kind of fire type of range, and he's right there. He's chilling. So even just being there, right? A lot of people think to pressure means like back against the wall, like being this close.
Yeah, no.
But even just being in that range where either of us can exchange and
Hmm.
realistically get struck is kind of like, whoa. Like, at least for me, when I first started, that idea of range is maybe like the easiest, but also the hardest concept to understand because that comes with that footwork of I could be a mile away from him and nobody gets hit. I could be an inch away and everybody's getting like smothering punches, but that
Yeah.
being right here, that footwork is you got to be impeccable for that. So Sean Strickland, despite how it may look, like it works for him in spite of fundamental like teachings and all of that.
It's a very effective style. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Say what
yeah.
you will about the fights he has. Sometimes it leads to a very close fight,
Mhm.
but there's so many times where guys are just kind of stifled. You know, I mean, and he did it
Right,
to Israel Adesanya. So it's like how
right.
much. You know, we can't, like talk about it all you want, but clearly it's
Exactly.
working if it's beating a guy who has like however many title defenses at the highest level. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So
Um,
shout out to them.
and then they're doing Drickus versus Izzy on that
Izzy.
card. Now that we're talking about Adesanya, what do you think
Yeah.
about that fight, man?
If I'm gonna be honest, I've got Izzy. Now I'm not gonna say no problem, but I've got Izzy. I would be confident in that.
You good?
Forgive me. What I think
Yeah, yeah.
in you can see me, bro. Sorry. All right. Just making sure. No, I was getting a call. Um, I think regardless, that's going to be an exciting fight. Obviously, the
Mm-hmm.
rivalry of it. Both of them, with the I'm the real African and XYZ. I think is gonna the promos for is gonna be it's easy. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fireworks. I've got Izzy though probably by round three. I'll call that right
Yeah,
now.
I mean, I hope he can get that finish. That'd be awesome. But I just, I mean, I
Right.
feel like I've been counting out Drickus like every fight, and now he just like I'm like,
Yeah.
how many more times?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How long
like
are we gonna
because
count him
he
out?
every fight I'm like, his style is too wild. It's not gonna work against this guy. I thought it against Strickland. I thought it
Yeah.
against Whitaker. You know, and now against Izzy, it's like
Yeah.
I really hope Izzy shows up in his best form. I think as a
Yeah.
challenger, he's at his best. That's just from what I've seen. I think his best performances have been when he's the one challenging for the belt. The exception being against Jan
Right.
Blachowicz, but I feel like he was really just outmatched in
Right.
that fight. But like against Whitaker in the first
Yeah.
fight, against Pereira in their second fight, these are like two hallmark performances from Izzy against Gastelum.
And
You know,
I was just gonna say before even that, the first
that
was
fight was
Gastelum. Yeah, those are
crazy.
you probably would say those are his
Yeah,
best
like his best
fights.
performances. That he's had
Yeah, yeah, his
dominance,
best performances.
between those, but there's also been some really close fights when he
Yes.
was the champion and he was kind of like not going for it, so to speak. So hopefully he can get it done against Drickus. I mean, I like Drickus too, so I wouldn't be mad at seeing him win. I'm just hoping for a good fight either way. But
100%. And also you think of, oh, well, I wonder what the narrative
hmm
shift is gonna be. Just as a fan watching, I would love to see Izzy win because I think, okay, where do we go
yeah,
now if we lose? Right? We lost to Strickland by the time that card comes, almost what, two
yeah,
years
something like
ago?
that, like a year and a half. Yeah,
You know,
it
almost
was
a
like the
year
end
and
of
a
last
half. This
year.
is the longest layoff. Excuse me. This is the longest layoff that we've seen from Izzy since he's been champ,
Yeah,
since he's
he's
been
really
running through it.
active.
So, what do we do if we lose here? Who do we fight next? It does seem to me that in either regard, I suppose unless Drickus and Izzy have like a super banger and everybody's like rematch, that Sean is
Yeah, probably.
next up for that.
Whitaker though.
Although a lot of people even
I
well,
mean, he lost to DDP and Izzy,
yeah,
but like
yeah,
that
and
last
I
fight,
think Whitaker's most recent win versus Sean's most recent win. I'm not mad
a
if you
match
do
between
a
them.
Whitaker versus
Yeah, I like that fight.
Sean. Number one content, like solid number one contender. Whoever wins wins. Um, but I know a lot of people are pushing for why didn't Sean even get the rematch right
I
now?
mean,
You know,
that fight against Costa, it was like,
but
I don't know, man. It feels bad. It's like
yeah,
I can't really, in good spirit, condone a title fight after that performance. Like, you know what I mean?
right. Yes, and that whole thing. I mean, a lot of people, even myself included, to be honest, would say that was an
Yeah,
unnecessary risk. Why fight Costa? Who's his last fight was what, the
yeah.
Rockhold?
I think there Whitaker. He fought Whitaker. Yeah,
Oh,
and it was
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, hundred
close fight.
percent.
I
But
guess he had that one moment, but he definitely lost.
right, but yeah, but
It should be
why?
Whitaker versus
Like
Strickland. I
why?
think that's a great shout.
Yeah, I
The
think
winner of
Whitaker
that gets
versus
the title
Strickland.
fight.
I'm not mad at that at all. Winner of that gets the title because I don't think too many people want to see
A rematch.
um Whitaker, Izzy,
Three.
the
Yeah.
trilogy, quadrilogy. They fought three.
Yeah,
They fought two
yeah. I
times,
mean,
right?
second fight, I felt like you could
Yeah.
make an
So
argument that Whitaker won, but the judges gave it to Izzy, and then obviously he got knocked out in the first fight, and then he got knocked out by DDP. So
right,
it's really not like,
right.
yeah.
It's like either way. I think if people put him through, if the UFC puts him through that like gauntlet, like okay, we're ready to give you the title after this, the title contention fight. Let's get it on, and same for both of them because like you're saying, hey, maybe the narrative could have been for Sean. Oh, why should he should get the title fight right now? Right now? Well, you had a some people snooze fast, some people whatever, but you had a fight, technical fight with Paula. Maybe it hurts your narrative a little bit, so you two get it on, and we'll
Yeah.
see
All
what
right.
happens.
I think we should start wrapping up now. We're going to be on an hour time. It's been a pleasure talking,
No doubt.
brother.
Damn,
Yeah,
good talking,
time
bro.
be
I didn't
flying,
even
bro.
know time flies.
It was a great conversation,
bro.
though, man. I appreciate you coming on, man, and I'm
Thank
happy
you, brother.
to.
Thank
Of
you. I
course,
appreciate
bro.
you having me,
yeah,
bro.
I mean, anytime.
Appreciate it.
We'll get on again after you have a couple more fights, and you know what I mean. I'm excited to see. One day we'll be interviewing when you're doing your UFC fight.
Bro, always got you, bro. Always. You're the first person I ever like made a song with to put on SoundCloud back in the day. Bro, I never forgot about bro. You're the first person that took me to like that like studio. If we call it a studio, you feel me? It was right by the studio, and you're the first person to give me my MMA interview. And you was one of the first people that got a ticket from me. So, bro, I'm like mad love, bro, mad respect. Dog. I appreciate it. Everything you're doing. You already know if you need anything, you holler at me. Same way, vice versa. I got you, bro. Get a few more wins under my belt. Boom. Get a few more wins. UFC, I don't care. Boom. TKO. Let's run it up.
I appreciate you, man. All right, I'm going to cue up this music and we'll do the outro.
Say no more, bro.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Jacob, for coming on the episode, man. And, it was a pleasure talking. Everybody who's seen the episode, I'm sure is going to follow your career moving forward, Got a lot of good things to come. Bro. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, brother. Get with me. August 24th, Hasbrook Heights. Culture versus the world. Man.
I'm excited. I'm going to be there for sure. I hope I'll see some of y'all there, too.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
I got you,
bro. Appreciate you, bro. Peace out. Take it easy, man.
See you guys.